This episode of Burning Daylight has been brought to you by Stetson Ranches out of Fromberg, Montana. Stetson Ranches is a family-owned fourth or fifth generation ranch family looking to build something that is sustainable and profitable well into the future for many more generations. They're a very diversified outfit, but they focus on the two things that matter on any ranch, and that's horses and cattle. They got some of the best quarter horses that you can buy out there with a string of brood mares coming from the King Ranch, 4.6s. Some of the best ranches out there. They got bloodlines going back to Zanpar Bar, Doc Bar, Two-Eyed Jack, Peppy Sand Badger, just to name a few. They got a really nice new stud from the King Ranch, and man, these horses are put together nice. They're big, they're flashy, they're athletic, got a lot of bone, and they got a great mind to them. Ready to go any which direction you might want to take them. And they also have a unique branded beef program. It's direct to consumer. That means it's shipped right from your door. One owner, one family taking care of them, and they're using the best quality feed. They're taking the best care of these cattle that you could possibly do. And it's all shipped to your door, flash frozen shipped to your door on dry ice. $9.95 a pound if you're going to buy an eighth or a quarter. And they also have a subscription service. So it's 8 to 10 pounds of meat every month. It's USDA Prime. You're going to get hamburger. You're going to get roast. You're going to get some stew meat and various cuts of steak that come with that. It's $125 a month. Use the promo code MOVEYOURASS, MOVEYERASS, all one word. Put that in when you check out, and you'll save 20% on your first month. Go check them out online, StetsonRanches.com for the horse stuff, StetsonBeef.com to order your meat. And go give them a follow on Facebook and Instagram, Stetson Beef, and let them know you heard about it on Burning Daylight. Next up, we got the official boot maker of Burning Daylight. It is Jake Houston and Houston Boot Company out of Virginia City, Nevada. Jake's been making boots for about 4 or 5 years, something like that. Excellent work. I've got a pair of them. They're all handmade, custom made to fit your foot and no one else's. Use the best materials out there, and he's one hell of an artist. He's a good musician and everything, but the guy is just an artist. I told him kind of what I wanted and told him to run with it, and man, just really turned out nice. You're going to spend more than what you'd spend in the store, but guess what? They're going to be way better. And he stands by his work. If you can't make it to have him measure you in person, which is the way to go, by the way. There's a lot of details into measuring your foot, and there's some things that he can't really get without doing it himself. But if you can't make it, he can send you a kit, tell you what to do. And either way, you're going to get just some of the best cowboy boots out there. He's a good friend of mine, friend of the show, and just does awesome work. You can find him on Facebook and Instagram. Facebook, Jake Houston. Instagram is at Houston Boot Co. And if you'd like to get a hold of him in person, give him a holler, 775-315-3022. Let him know you heard about it on Burning Daylight. And next up, this one's a little different, a little new, but it's a product that I use and I like. I heard about it on a couple other podcasts, but it's called Cardomax. It is it's a veteran-owned and operated company started by former Navy SEAL Sean Madsen, and he spent 14 years on active duty and reserves with the SEAL teams, and then he went to medical school. But now, after several businesses, they turned their attention to bringing research-backed supplements back to the market. Cardomax was designed to enhance concentration and neuroprotection in the most efficient, convenient way. They got a lot of cool stuff. The one I like is the immunity booster. It's got Siberian ginseng root, and it's just a little package about the size, a little bit bigger than a ketchup package. It's liquid. You dump it in a bottle of water, and you're good to go. As you may have heard, we went through a pandemic. However real you think that was, one of the things that you can do to to help yourself out is to boost your immune system. So just drinking one of these a day sure helps, and it tastes great too. I've only tried the orange, but they got a couple others. I think it's like strawberry lemonade, pink lemonade, and blue raspberry. It's all good stuff. They've also got an energy intensifier, kind of like a pre-workout deal. And I haven't tried that yet, but I do enjoy the immunity booster. So go check them out, cardomax.com. Use the promo code Burning Daylight. And I believe that gets you either 10 or 20% off. I think it's 10%. So anyway, check them out. If you buy it, I get a little kickback from it. So check them out, and I think you'll like it. Anyways, let's get into the show. Rise up in the morning, beneath the stars so bright. Pull your hat down, make sure your cinch tight. Horses kinda snuffy, cold chill up your spine. You'll get your ass moving, son, we're burning daylight. Burning daylight. Burning daylight. In the saddle till the job's done right. Howdy there, I'm Matt McKinley, and we're burning daylight. Well, howdy there, daylight burners. Happy Friday. It's snowing here. I don't know what y'all have going on, but we got, I'm gonna say 4 or 5 inches of snow. Maybe 6 inches. Maybe we were just really telling the truth to old Mother Nature. 6 inches. That's what we all say, right? I don't know. Maybe you guys talk a little bigger than me, but anyway, we get the dick joke out of the way real early. And you know what? That's good, because we got a whole bunch of them coming. This was a fun episode. The audio is not the best because it was one that I recorded on the road, and once again, rank amateur. But it was fun. I think the audio is going to be a little clearer than it was with Boots. But either way, there was a fun conversation. It's just a bunch of cowboy shit. They're in the great state of Oklahoma. Not quite Texas, fellas. Not quite Texas. And no, we had Chauncey Westner. You remember him from the bull session. He's been on a couple times, but not only did I get to meet Boots O'Neill, talk to him in person, I got to perform a second wedding with my favorite rawhide braider. And then there's just this guy down in Texas Panhandle, northern Oklahoma, that listens to the show and was like, "Hey, I hear you're coming down this way. If you need a place to stay, let me know." And I thought, well, hell yeah, it'll save me a little bit of money. And I said, well, I'll bring some beer. You bring some fellas. Wink, wink. There's a gay joke right off the bat too. No, I said, round up a couple of your buddies, and I'll bring some beer, and we'll just have us another bull session. And that's what we did, and it was a hell of a good time. And Chauncey, you sure didn't have to put me up for the night, but man, I'm glad you did. Like I said, it saved me a little bit of money, and this was hell. It was a good conversation. Probably a couple guys that maybe not wouldn't normally come on the bull session, but hey, we were there, and it was just it was cool. And in these COVID times, everybody's all weirded out by shit, but it was, I don't know, it was a little bit of a humbling experience being able to go on the road and having people that listen to you bullshit for hours on end, just just being like, hey, stop in and hang out for a minute. And so it was pretty cool. So thanks, Chauncey. So we got Chauncey, we got Dane, Carson, and Eric there in Raiden, Oklahoma. And let's get into it. Oh, and by the way, I was just on the Lions of Liberty podcast. I believe they are going to post that on Saturday, so tomorrow, for all of you who are listening. And yeah, just check them out wherever you get your podcast. Lions of Liberty. I was on with John Odermatt and Brian McWilliams. Young Katie joined me, and we talked a little bit about just trying to represent rural America to the libertarian, like the greater libertarian audience. They've got a pretty big show, so it was pretty neat. It was a fun conversation. I think you guys will like it, so check it out. Just head over to Lions of Liberty. You'll find them. And let's get into it.
Burning daylight. Well, life is just a gather, and you won't catch 'em all. But when you ride through the gate, make sure you sit up tall. I can see the horizon, it's looking pretty bright. Well, get your ass moving, son, we're burning daylight. Burning daylight. Burning daylight. In the saddle till the job's done right. Burning daylight. Burning daylight.
But we're set now. So you're the boss, Joe Rogan.
Well,
You guys are ready. But just continue on. I mean, that's what the bull session is. There's no topic. We're just shooting shit. So cowhands doing cowhands shit.
Tell them the story about the roping cattle over there at George's.
So I was short of rope and steer. I just turned.
We got to start from the beginning of what we did for George.
Oh, well, yeah, that too.
Well, we got Chauncey Westner over here. Yeah. And we got Dane. What's your last name? Banton. And I'm terrible with names.
This is Wallace Kirk.
Allegedly. Carson Hickey.
And Eric Shield. There we go. All right. And we're outside of Raiden, Oklahoma. Yeah. Almost Texas, but not quite.
And I start the story about how it all began with George's bull.
Well, being over here is kind of like Mufasa. Everything the light touches is mine.
Don't go to the
You
dark.
see that shadow? Don't go there.
Don't go there.
No, so I had a bull over on a lease deal of ours. Didn't belong to us. Kind of similar story to the Chinatown deal. Anyway, me and Dane was horseback. I was on the colt. He was on the good horse. And we opened the gate, got him out of there, and kicked him on through back where he belonged. Then we drove him probably, 300-400 yards. Then he turned back on us and just closed his eyes and blew through us. And he jumps back on us because he didn't want to leave them hot cows. And we fought him. And I lost my temper. I said, I'm going to shoot that son of a bitch. And Dane is just like sitting in the passenger seat. We done loaded up horses. I said, I'm going to the house. I'm going to get the gun and shoot that son of a bitch.
And let me say this. I've never seen anybody shoot a bull with a shotgun. And I'm thinking, I was like, he's going to go over there and shoot this motherfucker.
He thought I was going to get a rifle.
Yeah. See? So I'm dead quiet, like, I'm not going to say nothing. He's pissed off. Like, this is whatever's going on. Anyway, so
I go get a old Ithaca shotgun with a full choke and about a 30-inch barrel. And we drive out there, and there he is standing by the fence. And anyway, I walk up there about way too close, about 15, 20 yards, and I go to hammering on this son of a bitch. And he just takes it. He just takes it like a college girl. I mean, he just fucking soaks it up. And anyway, I was like, God damn. I didn't want to have to rope him because he was a good sized bull and I was on a colt. But finally, I was like, well, shit, I guess we're just going to rope this son of a bitch. So Dane ropes him and gets him up the back of the trailer. And I ain't never roped nothing on this colt I'm on. And I just asshole him and just bump him. And he jumps on the trailer. We get him loaded, no harm, no foul. So I take him back to my house and throw him in the pens. And I call the owner. And I said, hey, George, I said, we got your bull caught. But I said, we drove him back one time, jumped the fence, and now he wouldn't go back. I said, you want us to take him and haul him somewhere? Nope, I'll come get him. And this son of a bitch is bleeding like crazy. Because I shot him 5 times.
Yeah. And this is the best part. So Chauncey says this, and he's like, dang, start throwing dirt on this motherfucker.
Yeah,
so we're throwing dirt on him.
Throw some dirt on this son.
And he's like, don't say a word. I didn't shoot this bull. I'm like, okay, I'm on your side. Like, you didn't shoot this bull.
Yeah. Should have butt out.
And so George shows up, and he's like, man, there's some pretty little holes in there. And I look at Johnson, he looked at me and goes, well, George, goddamn it, I shot that son of a bitch. Just like,
so
you told me.
I said, George, I ain't gonna lie to you, I shot your bull. You shot him? Well, is he gonna be okay? I said, well, yeah, I shot him with a shotgun.
Yeah, and
why? I said, because he got on the fight and he wouldn't get the hell off our place. And he was about, George, he likes to drink beer. He's about done 3 sheets. And he said, well, hell, I got you boys 18-pack for getting my bull in. So we sat there and we drank beer with George, and we polished off that 18-pack, 3 of us, and then the conversation kind of took a turn. He said, "Are you missing a roping steer? Kind of a mousy looking steer?" I said, "Yeah, I am." He said, "Well, he's over there on me, right next to you." I said, "Well, hell, I was kind of wondering where he's at. I wasn't really." Figured he's kind of hit out, being a Caribbean and all.
Yeah.
And I said, well, hell, we'll just go get him. We still had horses in the trailer. And it was just damn near dark. And so we go over there and unload, and it's a prairie dog town right there. And I'm on this colt I ain't never wrote a single thing off of.
Yes.
And there's that steer out there, just handy as hell, just right there close where we unloaded. So we blow to him in that prairie dog town, and I was scared to death, but I done drank a handy amount of beers, and so I wasn't as scared as I should have been.
You weren't going to pass
because we've been drinking beer before we even got the bull.
Oh yeah,
so we've been drinking plenty of beer.
It's been a day.
Yeah. So I go up there, and by some sort of miracle, we get to him, and I get him caught and drag him to the trailer. Hell, the colt does good, everything's good. Like, hell yeah, somebody's did good. And I was fairly drunk, and it was 2-track all the way back to my house, to the pens, where I was going to take him. And we get to a wire gate, and I tell Dane, I said, when you grab the gate, I got to take a piss. He said, okay.
Well, Buck's going to go light.
So he goes there and grabs the gate and gets back to the pickup. And I go over to the escape door, and I let that steer out.
Yes, sir.
And I don't say nothing. I shut the escape door, and I drive back to the pens. We're sitting there talking, and Dane said, oh shit, we got to unload that steer. Dane said, yeah, I guess we do. Yeah. So I back up the loadout like I got good sense. I'm going to unload him. And we get out, and Dane kind of looks over there and said, where's that steer? I was like, what do you mean, where's that steer? He's in the trailer. He said, no, he's gone. I said, no, he's not. I said, hell, he can't jump out of that thing. He's still in there. It's dark for that.
And I was drunk.
And he gets his phone flashlight out, and he turns it on. It's a 6x8 compartment, and he shines that flashlight in every corner, looking for this steer.
You checked the nose.
And he said, he ain't in there. He ain't fucking in there.
He ain't hiding anywhere.
He said, he ain't fucking in there. I said, well, how the hell did he get out? He said, I don't know, but that son of a bitch ain't in there. And I went for laughing. He said, what the hell are you laughing about? We just had to rope that son of a bitch in Prairie Dog Town. I said, yeah, I know. I said, but whenever you got out to open that gate, and I got to take a piss. I kicked him out. I said, why the hell you kicked him out? I said, because I wanted to rope him again tomorrow.
Was that the same?
Yeah.
That wasn't
That
the
was that
same.
one you roped on Big Iron.
Yeah.
It was that same steer.
Was it the same group though that you had when I had to get them calves and all them pairs and threes?
Yeah.
So he had another. There was
Same.
pairs with this mousy
Yeah.
calf, and we're Chauncey had hunters, and
One
I
of
was
them
living with him.
young heifers had got bred somewhere, somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, "Would you mind bringing them to the house back to headquarters?" It's like, "No," and I was just living with him, and I wasn't working there yet. I was like, "Yeah, I'll get them for you." Well, I get most of them, and then I got a mama that took off and a calf that took off, and I was like, "I'll rope the calf."
Yeah.
So I went and roped the mama cow, drug her in the trailer, had everything in there. Well, then I put this little itty bitty cottontail in my
That's tiny son of a bitch.
tiny son of a bitch, so a little cottontail in the nose of my trailer, and forgot about it. And I drove over there, dumped that stuff out, and Chauncey shows up. He's like, "Hey, thanks for doing that for me." I was like, "I don't know, no problem." He goes, "Hey, was there a calf there?" "Yeah, I roped it." He's like, "Well, where's it at?" Sitting there looking. Oh shit, it's in the nose of my trailer. We've been sitting there talking for 2 hours.
But some just didn't die.
So I got him out of the
Well,
nose.
this cow's standing there balling.
So I get him.
why she doesn't leave.
Yeah.
She was a very piss poor mama.
And so I get him out in time, and the kick goes up. I was like, "Thank God you said something." I drove off with that calf, and he died in my damn trailer.
Found my charging block, by the way.
Oh, well, good news.
Yeah, it was here the whole time. Amongst all the other various cords and shit.
Mhm. Yeah, you have a lot of equipment there.
Yeah. Like my studio looks pretty cool, but like once you get behind the desk, it's just nothing but cords and wires. Yeah, I mean, it looks like meth head set it up. Like, it works, but like if you touch something wrong, it just don't. Yeah,
It works without copper somehow. It works.
Yeah, exactly. I was. It was just the other day. I don't know if I said anything on the podcast, but my little Karen mare.
Yeah.
I left her, and I usually turn her out because she's kind of a bitch, and she had no problem fighting for food. She didn't even fight. She just like they'll kick her, and she'll just stand there and take it and eat the whole time.
Yeah.
She just ain't moving. She's gonna eat. But I brought her in because she was being extra cunty, so I was gonna ride her for a week straight. And my other pin rider, he's off Friday, Saturday, so he's like, "I'm going to Winnemucca, I'm going to Brandon, so you don't need to feed my horses this weekend. I'll have them." All right, perfect. Roll up Saturday or Friday morning, and Karen is not there.
Oh no.
But every gate to her stall is shut. So I'm just like, what the fuck? It's like, and it's one of those ones where like I can't even begin to comprehend where this is gonna go. So I'm just gonna feed horses, and I'll deal with it when I figure out what the hell's going on. And so that's the horse. But we got our horse barn is. We've got like 3 runs over here, and we got 2 runs over here, and we got a big turnout, and then we got like a smaller turnout over here, and like this is all like a solid wall. And this last stall has a gate that opens up to that small turnout. Well, she's standing behind this wall in the corner, quivering, and so like I fed every one of the outside horses, and then I walked into that last stall because that's where Aaron kept his horses, and I was like, surely, like, I really hope this guy's not dumb shit, because I've had a lot of dumb shits that roll through there.
Right.
And this might be the dumbest move if he took my horse to go to Brandon. I mean, like, I'm kind of impressed by that. If that happened, don't even know you're...
Not even bad.
But, like, a little mad, but I'm still kind of impressed by it. And I was like, but surely he's not that fucking dumb. I mean, he's worked here for several months now, and he hasn't done anything close to that dumb, so I go gather her up, and I go to brush her, and I was like, you stupid bitch, I don't know how you got out, but I go around the right side, start brushing her, and she's got a big old skid mark right along the top of her spine. And I guarantee you,
She went under the fence.
yeah, she laid under a gate and just had to wiggle herself out. And yeah, it's probably a solid like 12, 14 inch, just like, it's not a gash, it just skinned all the hair off right along the right side of her spine.
Nope, shit.
Yeah. You dumb bitch. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to do with it. Like, yeah. Palominos, like they got death wish.
Yeah, but that's parade horse. I'll do it again.
Nigerian.
Nigerian parade horse.
We can believe that one.
In post.
Nigerian parade horse.
Nigerian parade horse. Yellow horses.
Just like that time over there at Dan Trimble's. We were dragging calves, and I had a bronchi horse at that time. Well, I still got him, but he was bronchi.
He's not as
shit.
bronchi as he was.
You know them big wire spools? Mm-hmm. So we were
Using it for
dragging
tables,
calves.
put
Yeah.
vaccines on.
Oh yeah.
So we're dragging calves, and this horse, like, you get on him. He was honest about it, but he was a frickin' bronchi.
Yeah.
He wasn't honest the day he pitched my ass in the gravel lot.
Well, you knew it was coming because, like, as soon as you swung at him,
Generally,
we were getting we were bucking.
whenever we tried to do that.
So we were dragging
That
calves, and we're dragging calves, and Chauncey was flanking. I pulled up there, and he's like, "Hey, you mind holding him?" No. So I whipped him around, got up there, got it tied again, and that fucking gray horse went to pitch, and I was like, "He ain't gonna do shit with this big calf on him." And sure as shit, he went to fucking blowing, and he jumped over that thing twice.
I wasn't
and
paying
was
attention.
cranking it. And Chauncey
I was leaning on the rope, you know, we just got on the ground. This kid I was flanking with wasn't just terribly stout. And this big old calf, I was like, hell yeah, I just told you. And all of a sudden the rope just went slack. I said, hold that motherfucker. And I wasn't looking at him. He said, I'm fucking busy. And I looked over there and that son of a bitch is bucking over that cable spool. I was like, holy shit. I said, ride that son of a bitch.
Yeah. And I'm mad as shit, and he clears that thing. Well, I get his head cranked back around. Well, then he ducks off and then goes back over it and just goes to fucking cranking. I was like, God damn it.
Yeah.
And Johnny's like, I said, hold it. I'm fucking busy.
I'm assuming that you're tied hard too. So.
No, I wasn't tied
We weren't
hard.
tied, no.
No, I didn't trust him for, I think the first time I tied on him was, what, a year ago, 2 years ago?
Yeah, you know, out here I know you get down south, everybody ties on the dragon fin. And not very many people out here do it.
Well, it's the same way, because we're not far, like, we didn't grow up very far apart.
Right.
It might be a 4-hour drive, but it's the same type of people.
Yeah,
like same thing. We had people that, when they're doctoring, they tie hard, but in the Brandon pen, they're on any bit. Like, they're like the people that did tie hard, like, we kind of made fun of them.
Yeah, it's kind of the same here.
That's how it is.
We all tie, if we're roping outside, pretty much everybody ties on.
Yeah.
But if you're Brandon calves, then we dally. Because I've been in wrecks on the ground because somebody was tied on them. What they was doing.
I cut a guy's rope.
Did you?
Yours.
I've done that
Dave
too.
Patterson's.
You're one of the guys that actually cut somebody's rope and just said they did?
No, remember that day over there?
Nobody cut his rope.
I cut a rope, and probably saved the fucker, and he was not happy about it.
No, you're right. I pulled my knife out. I pulled my knife out.
Don't worry about it.
don't worry about it.
No, don't worry about it.
Oh, shit. I did cut somebody's rope one time and it was Carson's.
Let's bring it out there.
Yeah, that was good.
The colder ones. Or Luke Cole.
Oh, hell, I got some Keystones that are cold.
Oh, don't worry about it.
You sure?
So
Yes.
we've been working calves over at my place years ago. And Carson, what the hell? Did that mule get out?
No, he was in the Brandon pen, and we just got done.
Oh, yeah. I had this miniature mule on a drunk. I bought him at an auction for $50.
Obviously.
And you could ride him.
I mean, if it's only $50, I'd buy that.
You could ride him. You could ride Everett. Everett's my mascot. He
Well,
just won't do.
if I didn't fly out here, I might buy him from you. I got a little soft.
He's
spot
he's
for
small enough he
I
can
love
Probably
dogs.
sit
I
right
don't
in
know
the
why.
seat next
He's
to
neat.
It's like how women love corgis. I love
Yeah.
fucking birds.
I know. This tall. If you got taps on your saddle on the dragon grill, it's neat. It's badass. But anyway,
playing around with corn and them tap tracks.
we had all the horses pinned up because we'd been branding calves and we had them out of the way because the horse trap we had to drive everything.
Yeah.
We kicked him out of the dragon pen, and I was a foot. My horse was tied up or something. And I said, hell, you got to rope that mule because as soon as you got a loop on him, he just stopped.
Yeah.
And Carson was roping at him. And he's so fast you couldn't catch the alley.
Yeah.
I said, you ain't got a hair on your ass if you don't tie on and rope that son of a bitch, 4-foot him. And he's like, I don't know if that's a good idea. I was like, oh, goddamn, it'll be all right. So he did. He ties on.
No, you bet me.
I did bet.
He said, you can't front foot that son of a bitch.
I said, I bet you can't 4-foot him.
That's what I said. Well, hell, bet I can. I got the old horn net up, put it on, and that's when.
Oh, so
Yeah, and it got.
so this old gray horse wasn't all as tight as we thought he was. And he goes out there and he 4-foots him. And he yanks his slack and pitches it to him, and it wasn't quite as attached to both feet as we thought it was.
No, I got one.
So he wound up one front foot, and that saddle, he hit the end of it, and that saddle just immediately just boom off its side. And then that mule proceeds to wrap around Carson.
Yeah, being the outstanding mule that ever it is,
Yeah.
he just comes out
He's a gentleman.
and just follows that gray horse. Just grabs him. He half hitches the on. I can't. The gray horse goes bucking.
He would pitch
He
it.
can't buck nothing, but I can't even buck off of him because I'm laughing and I'm tied on to him. That's both directions.
It's the best and the worst thing you've ever seen.
Yeah.
In your life all at the same time.
I wish I could say, yeah, this some bitch was getting it on. And I was like,
It's gonna be a hell of a story if I live through it.
my saddle's on the side. I can't even get loose
I don't
from
know
him.
how many times I've been on some like the receiving end of that. I was like, fuck, if I make it through this, it's gonna be a hell of a story.
It was funny for everybody but Carson.
Yeah, well, Travis brought that gray horse out to my place and helped me gather a set of cows on him one time. We got him nearly to the pens and thought we had him gathered, and I had a cup of coffee sitting on the side of the trailer, and I kind of rode over there and grabbed it. Of course, as soon as I start to pick it up, them cows started blowing back out the gate, coming through his.
And then you
I was way off.
grabbing coffee.
Way off out in the middle of nowhere, and I just pitched that cup of coffee at the first cow coming by me, and it bounced off of that cow's back and splashed that coffee all over. Great. Before I could even apologize, that horse spun around, dumped Travis on the ground, on his foot in the stirrup. I go to taking off. Travis grabbed the fences on me, leaving safety. He grabbed the fence and jerked his boot off. Stuck off with his boot and the rest of my coffee.
The rest of your coffee. I didn't know he hung a stirrup. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was only for about 15 feet.
Yeah, that's a good brother. I guess some bitch he broke. But he ain't coffee broke.
That was, I think it was the
You had to
next
make
time that I
fun
seen you
of
ride that
the
gray
horse
horse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, you remember there in Colorado, I-25 splits it right down the center?
Yeah.
Antelope on the east side
Yeah.
and west side of the mountains.
Yeah.
We had a lease place over there, right there at I-25, and there's antelope right there. And I had a jam up, like, I don't know how many gears this horse had, but it was fucking like, he had a bunch of them.
Yeah.
And there was antelope right there. I was like, them some bitches, they run pretty fast. Well, there's a huge pond dam, and then that dirt tank was right there, and he was in there, and he was dried up. So I'm gonna rope this motherfucker. So I take off over that pond dam, like I circled way around. It's like, this will be good.
Yeah.
Circled way around, get to the back of the pond dam, and I just cowboyed up and took, or not, kumbaya and just took up off that deal. And then got to him and roped him. I was like, this is fucking awesome. And I just down it up, and that damn antelope just hit the end of the line and come right back. I was like,
I've heard they do that.
yeah, they do. Yeah. Which he had I had a huge advantage.
Yeah.
I came over the top and just dropped off.
Yeah.
By the time he picked his head up to look at me, I was right there. And I caught him down it up. I was like, this is fucked up. I'm an antelope. Hit and set that horse down, and he just sat down, and all of a sudden, bam, the antelope's coming right back. Well, the horse stood there. Like, he hit, and both me and the horse were just like, what the fuck? He's coming back. I was like, oh, he's going to run by me. I'll just keep down to him. Like, it'll be fine. Break his neck. Oh no! I lost a brand new fucking rope, and oh no! And I get home, no rope, nothing. Dad's like, "What happened to your fucking rope?" He's like, "Well, rope and antelope." He's like, "Oh bullshit." I said, "I was on my bay horse." He goes, "Okay, I can kind of see that now." He's like, "But what happened to your rope?" I said, "Well, I roped him." And he goes, "No shit." I said, "Yeah, I roped him." And he was like, "Well, where's your rope?" I said, "I don't know. The antelope's still back that way." And he has my rope.
You know what's funny is like I watched that first season of Yellowstone. They roped that grizzly, and I was like,
Yeah.
that is the stupidest fucking shit. And then you go to like that rope shit and cow camp page on Facebook, and there's like 17 pictures of guys that rope bears, and I was like, you're not helping my case by saying that Yellowstone is bullshit. I mean, it's a good show. Yes, I enjoy it, but that show is bullshit. Who the fuck ropes a bear? God damn it. I mean,
For real. Who would rope a bear?
I probably would. I've never seen one.
I've tried to rope a lot of times.
I've tried to rope a lot of shit. I've never seen a bear on horseback, so.
So
I mean, I get it, but
you see a lot of them old drawings and stuff of them vaqueros in California roping them California grizzlies, stretching them out. And I always heard that was gospel truth, that they would do that.
Oh yeah,
just stretch them out and choke them to death.
Oh yeah,
really. Those some bitches had to have been on another level of handy though.
Oh man, well, maybe
maybe they're just crazy.
Blood and Thunder by Hampton Sides.
Have it.
So. It's not an autobiography of Kit Carson, but it follows his life pretty close, and like talks about a bunch of different guys. But it's really about that whole like destiny. So like Kit Carson, John C. Fremont, all the like the main.
You can't read you either.
The main army guys that settled in the West, and they were talking about some battles that they had in California. It's like right as they come out of the Arizona desert, they came through with mules
I got more
across
Arizona.
One here from Santa Fe. And their horses were about starved out. They were about starved out, and then they met up with a bunch of well-fed buckaroos. And they surprised them, so they kind of got the jump on them. And then the buckaroos ran because they were still fighting for Mexico. Even though it's California, but it's still part of Mexico.
Yeah.
And then they realized, Kit Carson's crew took off after them, and then those buckaroos realized that their horses were played out. So then they came back at them, and they just roped them and used fucking spears. Or what do you call it? Lance. They all had riatas and lances, and were just they fucked them up.
No shit.
Yeah, they fucked them up, but that's only because they were way outnumbered the Americans. But they got the jump on them, and then they ran. But kind of how Mexicans fight. They'll run, but when they figure out they got an advantage, they're coming back, and they're coming back with a vengeance.
Yeah.
And they're pretty good at what they do.
Huh?
Yeah.
Give me one.
What do you say?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
What do you say?
First. You need dip.
No, you're talking about roping shit. I'll tell you about
He can't drink and
We was over on a ranch one day. This guy we had a big tornado come years ago. Well, the neighbor's llamas showed up on this ranch. And they're the big llamas, not the little big. I mean, I say big. I mean, they're 4 or 5.
They're not alpacas.
They're not alpacas.
They're legit llamas.
He said, "Can I have them?" He said, "Well, hell, I guess." He said, "They've been here for 6 years. They ain't mine."
Take a look at that.
Power.
Shit, we should have invited Corey Hartley. He's got some power llamas.
That's one of them llamas that Carson was telling the story about.
Oh, really? Yes.
There's two of them some bitches on Corey's where they came from.
Me and Cody
Black
rode
rifle guys actually
those are where
mounted the
they came
minigun on.
I knew one there.
Their minigun on the flowers.
Yeah.
Did they fire them?
That's what I'm
No, but they brought it in their office and everything because it was one of their
I knew one of them.
like once
that you guys
once in a
were- I know two of
lifetime
them were.
coffee roast, so they called it Power Llama, and they rented a freaking alpaca and set a pair of Vulcan cannons on it.
I always heard they were pretty decent beasts of burden.
Yeah, well, apparently the meat's pretty good too. I talked to that.
I've heard that about horse too. You ever had horse?
No, I've had. No, I had horse jerky one time, and it tastes like jerky.
Tastes like jerky. Kind of like bear jerky. Tastes like fucking jerky.
Yeah, exactly. But I never had a horse steak. Me and my nephew were very seriously considering butchering that red dun.
Really?
Yeah, he said they there's a bounty on him out there because he lives in
Corona, doesn't he?
No, not Corona. That's where Taos lives.
Well, yeah, but he's right there by Corona.
Yeah, it is.
right there around there somewhere.
I
It
can
was
tell
like-
you
it was
later.
Santa Rosa.
$2 a head for jackrabbits.
Really?
Oh shit! We used to get.
And you could make decent wages, better than shooting coyotes like we was doing last winter.
I was saying we used to get $13 for the years and for coyotes, but that stopped I think my senior year of high school. But like that was pretty good money if you you turn into a pretty good coyote hunter when you're getting 13.
Yeah, when you're getting paid for it.
Yeah.
Like me and Dane shot the fuck out of a bunch of coyotes last
you
year.
sell the ears to the county and sell the pelt for $75, and so you're getting
That's
$88 for a coyote.
that's pretty badass.
That ain't bad. You turned out to be a pretty good coyote hunter.
Yeah, we were getting $30 last year,
Yeah.
and man, we were in hog heaven. Like shit,
yeah.
$30 for a whole carcass. You didn't have to skin some bitches.
Oh yeah.
And then this year they were worth about
10, I think.
$10. Yeah, we'd be like, man,
Because
you know what?
Johnstown take
We'll kill
turns going up there, go drop coyotes out. There's a guy that went to Canadian, and he'd buy them. And hell, we took turns going up there with at least 6 coyotes.
Huh.
Y'all had a little bet going on too, didn't you? That
Yes, we did.
whoever shot more coyotes at the end of the month,
Yeah,
the other guy had to
six
buy
we kept
just a
log of it.
6-pack.
Yeah.
No, it wound up being a 30.
I see it.
We had us a log.
Naturally.
Whoever killed the most coyotes at the end of the
Got a
month
6-pack
had-
up less than
had
this
to
one.
buy a beer.
Yeah. Somebody who says fuck your 6-pack.
Yeah, the same enough. You're gonna have to bring more.
Yeah.
But
So
there hadn't been that many cows this year.
yeah. So it's pretty brushy country around here. It looks like. Is that like mesquite brush or
No, it's
No,
not
they're
like shinnery, like oak brush.
A lot
Oh,
of shinnery brush.
But it's not like our stuff back in Colorado.
Yeah.
The shinnery's just that oak, but it's unless it'll be maybe that tall.
Yeah.
For our stuff, we have some big bushes like ours, but
Yeah.
it's not near
Yeah.
oak brush like our deal is.
Well, and it's not in that like West Texas mesquite brush.
No.
Like,
Like I had
like
one.
you're not going in to search for cattle in the brush here.
Well, you are, but it's
But not-
different. It's a different
Yeah.
search.
Just like Roswell, I went down there and I had this chinks, like we all grew up there,
Yeah.
Colorado chinks, and hell, it was poking through my fucking boots and getting in my legs. I was like, this is bullshit. So I bought I had a guy build me a pair of leggings, and my uncle and his wife bought me the chinks. And they're like, what, they're not good enough anymore? I said, you come down here for a fucking week and try to gather cattle in mesquite and tell me that that's not good enough.
Yeah. So that's why all those Arizona, New Mexico guys wear boar hide, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, because most of the guys there at the LE was boarhide.
Yeah.
Which even really there, like the south side of that ranch, because I can't remember what that road is from Roswell to Plains was. I can't remember what that highway number was, but it was weird, like just like Colorado.
Yeah.
North side had some mesquite, but it wasn't real thick. But then you go to that south side of that ranch, and it was real thick mesquite.
Yeah, you have got like a real clear dividing line from
Yeah.
where brush starts and the belt.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
There was some of that
south
stuff on the north side that was like kind of like out here.
Yeah.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, but we were talking about that mesquite, like that
Oh,
south
that mesquite side,
Yeah,
yeah.
the mesquite side was bad. And we had 2 weeks of rent. We started on the south side because that was the foreman's side. Because there's just 2 of us on 200 sections. There's just 2 of us. So you take care of 100 sections, and it would be corn on his side. Well, then my side was all beef. And then we started on the corny side, the 100 sections, and that shit was rank. It was bad with mesquite. And then the north side, it wasn't real bad. We had shinry, but it wasn't real tall.
Yeah.
But fuck, then cattle were pretty much living on this floor right here with a couple blades of grass.
Yeah.
Because he ran, I think, double what I did. And I was feeding double what he was through the wintertime.
Yeah. You know, the first time I went out there, we trotted out for about, I don't know how fucking far, but
Well, our trap was, well, you know, the pens were in my house.
Yeah.
You go straight east to there, which would be, it was a 7 mile long by 4 miles wide deal. That was our smallest deal on there. Everything else was every bit of 13 sections.
Yeah.
I've never been out there. I got there at about 10, 11 o'clock at night. I hadn't seen Dane in months. He met me at the gate. You want a beer? Hell yeah. We got drinking beer.
And my wife was there.
Yeah. We were supposed to be at headquarters at like 3:30. And
Thanks, sir.
so we woke up a little bit late and missed breakfast, which didn't hurt my feelings a whole hell of a lot. But I was hired help, so it kind of wasn't a good deal.
Yeah.
And,
that'll be fine.
anyway, we leave headquarters and trot out, and we trot for probably about 7 miles.
Yeah.
And it's foggier than hell. It's flat.
Sorry,
Well,
It's nothing but
And
mesquite.
for people that aren't used to trotting for 7 miles, like that's a pretty good chore.
Well, it wasn't bad.
Especially if you don't have an easy riding horse. Like if you got to post that whole time, like you're pretty wore out by 7 miles. You know? I mean that's a
good jaunt.
Yeah.
We trot around, we get backside of this pasture, and it's foggy the whole time. It's mesquite everywhere. It's flat, and we get where we're going. Well, hell, it's too foggy together because you can't see shit. And me and Dane might have been still a little drunk from the night before, and we go to try to build a fire.
Don't believe that.
No. That's false. I was trying to look cool. We go try to build a fire.
Chain there.
It's cold. Like, we're going to have to wait for it to burn off. And it's cold and foggy. And there ain't no grass. It's just mesquite.
Yeah.
And so we work. And everybody's kind of standing around. And finally, Dane gets the fire lit. And we get a good fire going. Everybody's kind of standing around the fire. About the time that fire gets just about right, the boss like, well, we better go.
That the picture that was on your Christmas card?
On my Christmas card.
Yeah.
When I sent out, on the Christmas card. And we trotted out. And I bet I called Dane 5 or 6 times. I was like, dude, I'm lost. I don't even know what direction we're going. He's like, can you see anybody beside you? I said, I can't see shit. And I was lost until that fog burned off, and I finally saw somebody. He dropped me off. And I was
bull pasture.
Oh man,
like I was on fucking Mars, dude.
Yeah, that was our bull pasture, which wasn't very big for there.
Yeah, it was still about 7 fucking sections.
For there, that's what I'm saying.
I had that same deal down in we were south of Pritchett, Colorado.
Yep.
Right there on the Oklahoma and like butted up against New Mexico too.
Who were you working for? Was it Ray Sykes?
No, it was. It used to be Charlie Hafner, and then Bill Ford bought it.
Okay. Yeah.
But my dad's buddy Dean Ormiston, you know him?
I've heard the name.
Okay, he's a kind of a wild man. But anyway, Dean was running that ranch, but Bill Ford, he was from Shawnee, Oklahoma, owned it. And he Made a bunch of money. He sold flour to Pizza Hut, so he did well.
That's good gig.
He had a flour mill there in Shawnee and sold. That's where he got the.
That'd be Shawnee Mills.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody knows Shawnee Mills.
Yep.
They're like
Yeah,
this
he-
sweet out here for that.
Yeah.
We were
7 years worth of face scrub.
we were pushing cows across this Carrizo Creek there.
Yep.
And that dumb shit, Bill Ford, like he rode a black horse because that's what they rode in the westerns, so he had to have a black horse.
That was about right.
That's what the bad guy rode.
I know,
Carson, he's been riding Black Horse too. That's probably.
Well, he's a piece of shit.
you ever seen a Snapchat of
He's
John
a
Lee
LeBron
movie?
acting. So
my dad charged him, I think, $3,000 for this flagpole that he built, and he charged him $3,000 because he said he quoted him that because he was like, "There's no way that stupid son of a bitch will pay it." And then he did. So then he had to build it. So he's like, I don't even know if it's a good design, but I told him I'd buy it.
I'll build it anyway.
I would build it, and he paid for it, so now I got to. But yeah, we had a lot of fun down there. Like I don't. There wasn't any good ranch management that I could tell that it was a good time.
Fun times,
Yeah.
That's how that guy there in Roswell was. He was very good at managing cattle and
Yeah, he
ranch,
was.
but
Yeah.
he had like his tent or his humor was as about as dry as this damn microphone right here.
Yeah.
And remember the whole clown epidemic going on around here?
Yeah.
So I hop in. I'm a happy-go-lucky little bastard in the morning,
Irritating.
and like he
Annoying
picked
as
up, like,
hell.
we
I
got
don't know, every time he's rode with me, he's been asleep.
well. Anyways, like I'll yeah. So I
Bill Cosby. Sir.
Y'all take notes.
like when we were doing our day, or when we were working, it was I'd be up at 2:30 in the morning, catching a horse, saddling, go to the house, headquarters there, and his wife would cook dinner.
Yeah.
Well, or breakfast, and then
breakfast.
we were going to a neighbor's house to help him. He picked me up at like 3 in the morning, and I had a pot of coffee. I was gold. I'm having fun. Well, I saw a video that morning of this whole clown epidemic going on. It's like, well, I'm gonna ask him what he thinks. And this guy, like 10 and 2 every time he drove, 10 and 2, like never anything different. And I hop in, load up, hop in. He's like, "How are you this morning?" "I'm good. How are you, Gary?" "Fine." I'm like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "Hey, what do you think about this whole clown epidemic deal going on?" He's like, "In Oklahoma?" "Yeah." And she goes, "Well, if you shoot one," and like I said, 10-2. He's driving down the road, looking at the highway. He's like, "I guarantee you, if you shoot him in the fucking head, they'll probably quit." And I spit coffee on his dash. Like, I spit coffee on the dash, laughing. He's like, "God damn it, Dane. What the fuck's wrong with you?" I was like, "Did you hear what you said?" He's like, "Yeah." And I mean it. I said, "That's what makes it that much funnier." When I took another sip of coffee, he was like, "I don't know why the fuck you're laughing." Bam! Spilled again. And like the whole time he never cracked a smile, nothing. 10 and 2, and just kept driving. I freaking died.
That guy didn't even know he was funny.
Yeah, like I got
It's a
fired
shame.
for. I got fired for poor puzzle ethics
Good
at Christmas time. Yeah.
That's awesome. So
Okay.
You're a comedian and keep a straight face. You're the funniest guy.
That's
on
right. That's right.
my dad, he was doing this whole water rights battle, and so I think all in all he filed like 80 something complaints over these wells because there were 80 something wells that they applied for. And the law states in Colorado that anybody in the state of Colorado within a 35-day period of when they apply for the well can object to it. And if they object, the district where the well is, so you can't complain about a well in Steamboat when you're in Walsh.
Right.
But when you're in Walsh or Baker County, whatever, if you're in that same district, you can complain about that well. So that's what my dad did. And he knows this because he was in the state legislature for 8 years and he helped write this law. So he knows it very well. And he's also, my mom died, 10 years ago? And so he's been a bachelor for 10 years. He's got a lot of time on his hands.
Yeah.
So he's researched all of this shit. And they told him that he could not file any more objections or any more motions in court because he was costing the defense attorneys too much money because he was representing himself. and so basically there's like, you are being too much of a pain in the ass and you can't do that. And so they filed an injunction against him and said, if you file any more objections or motions, you will be held in contempt of court. So he filed a motion for clarification on what they actually meant. And you know what? He got held in contempt of court. And when they held his trial, they're like, you said that you were you're not a man of the law. And he's like, well, that's untrue. I read a couple John Grisham books in my day. This was at his trial.
Couple John Grisham. Right on in them.
And then he wrote my older sister, who didn't want to be involved in any way. He wrangled her into a picture, and they were on the front page of the fence post.
Carter is going to shit.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So what is the whole water rights deal over?
Well, it's over. Essentially, it's a Russian company that bought the Witcher Ranch right there on the Cimarron.
Yeah.
It's about a 5-mile stretch, and that part of the Cimarron has never ran water ever.
No.
Like if you look back to Zebulon Pike's books, they called it the Great American Desert for a reason. But that part of the Cimarron has always been underground.
Because the spring is back to the south.
Yeah, so like east of there and west of there, the Cimarron runs, but that particular stretch from about Elkhart to Folsom, basically, right?
Yep.
Is dry. I mean, well, it's not dry, but it's underground.
Yeah, the spring's there, but it's not.
Yeah,
it's not running.
It's a river bed. It used to be a river at some point.
It's got a big rushing under gushing to go.
Yeah,
because that spring is underwater, pretty much.
Or underground.
Underwater.
The way they applied for wells, it was like every quarter mile along the stretch of the Witcher Ranch, they applied for a well.
Yeah.
And got approved for like general agricultural purposes, which means they're going to be pumping water for corn.
Yeah.
But really, what they want to do is sell those water rights to Denver.
Yeah.
And
That's gonna fuck up.
Yeah,
and just
exactly.
like Polk County is the same way.
Yeah, but they're gonna grow corn for 4 or 5 years, or however long it is to like make an actual go of it farming, and they're going to lose money every year because nobody should farm in that part of the world. It should be cattle country.
Yeah.
Because there's no fucking water. But they're gonna farm just long enough to say like, oh, we had a couple good crops, whatever, and then they're gonna sell it to the city of Denver or the city of Pueblo or somebody.
Yeah.
Or some water, because they just opened a futures market for water.
Yeah. Because I know that.
And it's all
That's
based
going to
off-
be the next boom, I think.
That's where the next world war is coming is over water. You can put me on the record. That's the next world war is going to be over water.
You're on record.
Yeah, it's not going to be.
Yeah.
It's not going to
Burning
be
daylight
oil.
record.
It's not going to be oil. It's not going to be gold. It's going to be water.
Yeah. That red light's not blinking that way, so we're not on record.
Oh, good deal. Oh, Matt's looking now.
Yeah, we're still on it.
Oh, we're still on.
Son of a bitch.
Damn it.
Don't worry. I can.
Yeah, they heard you call them Nigerians.
Yeah.
Those Nigerians.
Walskirt's still
pesky
here.
Nigerians.
Walskirt's still
Pesky
here.
Nigel.
Walskirk. Carson Walskirk Hickey.
All right, so where did you fellas grow up at?
I grew up kind of around Elk City.
Okay.
And yeah,
For real.
Okay.
So
I'm
continue on.
proudly hailing from Elk City. I turned into a way better human being than moving out
It
here.
just so happens where your mom shit you out.
No, it just happens to be where Dad's job was, so we moved out there. And then as soon as I graduated high school, or a year after I graduated high school, I went to tech school for another year, and then I moved out here and started punching cows.
Fucking it.
Yep.
The story took forever.
Maybe you should have dreamed up a short version.
Where's the short version?
The short version's on the same bus.
On the same.
What did you?
I drove that bus. Don't make fun of it.
My God, use the pilot and the window licker.
Did you cowboy
Snozberries taste like snozberries.
Did you cowboy it all before you moved out here?
I did not.
Yeah.
No, sir. Other than my grandpa would have a Brandon on our deal now. I've bought half of it out now, so it'd be on our deal. But my grandpa would have a Brandon every spring on it, and I'd come out for it. And other than that, I was just a punk skater kid from town that no damn thing.
Can you do
Just a skater boy.
Can you do a sweet kick?
So see you later, boy.
Were you about to say sweet kick flips?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't that good, but I'm not that good of a cow puncher either.
I'll tell you what, though.
Mediocrity is my best bet.
If you can do a kick flip on a Colt, like you're my hero.
Shit, I'll try.
I'll tell you what, though. Eric can play the fuck out of the guitar and sing.
Yep.
Fucking A.
He does some.
Did you bring your guitar?
He does some gigs there at the bar,
Yeah.
and he goes by Sawyer Johnson.
Sawyer Johnson.
Sawyer Johnson.
That's Sawyer Johnson right there.
I'm Tato in South Texas.
Tato. Yeah, you are, ain't you?
Yeah. Well, think
In
of
the
a
South Texas Panhandle.
good name and make your way up to Elko next year, and we'll have a stool for you to pull up.
Hell
Shoot,
yeah.
yeah.
You need to get. Is that a pretty neat deal?
Yeah, this last year sucked, except
Hand me
for
one
the
more.
Burning Daylight show, obviously. We were the only one there. But no, that cowboy poetry deal is fucking awesome.
I bet it
Like
is.
when it's in full bore, it is awesome. Like we saw Nepadu, Dave Stamey,
You got some big
Cord
names.
Lund, and Ramblin' Jack Elliott all in one afternoon.
No shot in one afternoon.
In one
That's cool as hell.
Forrest, my buddy Forrest.
Yeah.
Played with Cord Lund. Yeah, we saw. Like, we actually forgot that we saw Ned Ledoux at Cowboy Poetry because we saw so many other people. Like, we were driving back home and like, who else? Oh, fuck. The first show we saw was Ned Ledoux. And I was like, I forgot about that.
Is he actually
Does he
good?
do pretty good?
Yeah, he does real good. He sounds exactly like his old man.
Really?
New songs, yeah.
Man, I'll tell you what, that
Hey,
whenever Chris died, that just kind of punched in the nuts, you know. He was one of a kind.
Well, he's like he's kind of like the Boots of the country music because he like he was real. Everybody believed nobody believes George Strait.
Yeah.
George Strait. One video, not George Strait, Garth Brooks.
Yeah.
One video that keeps popping up on my Facebook is his video $5 Fine,
Yeah.
which features Garth Brooks. And it cracks
Just pull
me
the
up
cradle out.
because
Oh, yeah.
the only scene that Garth Brooks is in it is him running out of the bar at the very end of it. I was like, yeah, that sounds like Garth Brooks to me.
That's $5 fine.
Yeah, and it looks about the same way as Garth's running off the stage from the Biden election or the inauguration.
Oh, God.
Nail on the head.
That makes you wish you wasn't a part of Oklahoma.
Yeah, so you know what? Like, I don't care. Whatever. Do your thing, Garth. I really don't care.
Right.
We know, like, there's a reason Chris Ledoux is a legend in the cowboy world. Like, everybody likes Garth's music, but everybody loves Chris Ledoux. Like, nobody loves Garth. They love his music.
Yeah.
Everybody loves Chris Ledoux.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever Chris said, whenever Chris said, "Thanks, Garth," at the end of that song, that was kind of what got him because whenever Garth said "worn out tapes for Chris Ledoux," that's kind of what put him on the map.
Right.
And thanks, Garth.
Yeah, but it was also acknowledging that, hey, Chris Ledoux's been doing this for like 20 years already.
Yeah.
And then everybody in the rodeo world knows who he is.
Yeah.
But nobody else.
It's kind of like Red Dirt.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
why he jumped into popularity.
You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm trying to do with the Burning Daylight stuff, is because we all know these badass cow punchers that can tell some good stories or they're funny as shit, but nobody else knows them.
Yeah.
So now I can put you on the big stage, and then so like somebody was like, you need to interview this guy. You need to interview this guy, and it's always like my favorite interviews. I've interviewed the CEO of Black Rifle Coffee. Cool fucking guy.
Yeah.
My favorite interview is with the Wilsons from Silver Lake, Oregon. They're never going to be famous, but they are cool as shit, and they're just cowhands, just like they bought a little homestead, and they day work, build bits, and they make fucking great music.
Yeah.
And they're just good people.
That's cool.
And nobody else would know about them if I didn't put this on. So that's why I keep doing that.
Yeah.
And but like Boots O'Neill has been featured in how many different publications, but the real stories you hear about are on Burning Daylight.
Because Boots won't talk to nobody.
Yeah.
He don't want to. And for
Because
whatever
I'm
reason,
asking him cowboy
he wants to
questions.
talk to you. Yeah,
I'm asking him cowboy questions.
It's basically you're recording just bullshitting with him and swapping cowboy stories.
Yeah.
And that's what's so cool about it.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, and he just keeps answering because he lets me know every time. I don't like doing this thing, but he still answers his phone. So I think he likes me a little bit. But yeah, like if I wouldn't do it and like keep pressing the issue like that, it just nobody would ever know outside of what he's already told the general public, because he's got he's got his whole spiel that he's told people over the years. And now we're going to be episode number 5 tomorrow.
Yeah.
So now we're past all that. So like now we're hearing stuff like you don't hear unless you've worked with Boots or you know somebody who worked with Boots. And so that's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah. I think it's cool as shit.
It is cool.
Yeah.
Because you hear the same thing from Boots every single time. I'm on the 6s, and they told me I could work here until I didn't want to no more, basically. And that's all you ever hear.
How many ranches that he worked on? And
I worked on
But I got him to talk about how he fired a cook because the cook got moved on.
That was the best episode of that.
That's when I think like we got over the hump, and now he's like he kind of likes talking to me now.
Yeah.
And so he's, I don't know, maybe I could be full of shit, but it feels like we broke a little barrier there. Now he's kind of leaning into it, and I think they could be really cool.
Well,
And I hand him a bit, and then I think he's gonna. I think they'll sweeten.
Man,
I gotta show you this bit. By the way.
Go get that bit.
Yeah.
It's fucking bad to the bone.
I'd have it.
Well, him making a pot hook, or him making a necktie out of one of them pot hooks, that's one of the best stories I've ever heard you had.
No,
That's
I
funny.
would do the design.
Did you listen to that, Carter?
What's that?
Him making a necktie out of one of them pot hooks around. One of them cooks got into a fight with the
About to kill.
cowboy on there, and I guess that he made a necktie out of one of them pot hooks on that old boy, and then pulled a shotgun.
Oh, really? No, I haven't.
My bad.
That's a pretty good story.
You see there, Slobber McGoober?
Yes, because I don't have internet.
You have a phone that has it.
It does, and it's
I think all the porn videos I send you, you don't notice.
It's poor. And you notice there's a lot of days with the winds blowing that your Snapchat videos do not get viewed for a couple of days.
And we're burning daylight.
I did your intro for you. God, man, he really let himself go. The years have not been kind.
He grew taller and thinner. He grew thinner all of a sudden. I'm Dane Banta, and I approve this message.
Dates?
That's
I didn't answer to that.
Look at that thing.
Come here, Otis.
Yeah, so I'm gonna gift that to Boots since I didn't pay any money for it. I traded for it.
See the dinosaur?
There's a fucking dinosaur on the side of that.
How cool is that?
Oh, that's
badass.
You know, that reminds me of that old Hank Williams Jr. song. Because I'm a dinosaur.
Yeah,
you know, that,
exactly.
that song.
That's why I'm giving
You're talking about that, and I'm thinking of that Will Ferrell movie where he's coming in riding the dinosaur.
Yeah.
Land of the Lost.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, then Step Brother is like, I want to be a dinosaur. I grew up and let me see. My dad said, "Shut the fuck up. You're not a dinosaur."
Don't lose your dinosaur.
You can't be a fucking dinosaur.
That's a badass bit.
I like it. Just like I said, the Hank Williams Jr. song sells it because
Oh yeah.
you know how this song goes.
Oh yeah, exactly. Well, and Boots is a dinosaur.
He is a dinosaur.
89 years old.
Yeah, he is.
Wait,
And,
that bit's badass.
man.
And I traded it for. I traded for it.
I gotta look at it.
And it's solid cheap, and it's not a good feedlot bit, so I just don't ride it. It hangs on the back rim, so I was like, well, it might as well hang it at the 4.6s and Boots'
No,
back locker.
this thing is that's just neater shit.
It's the coolest thing. I
A bit like that, you wouldn't want a horse rubbing it on the side of the
Well, I'm
You throw them in loose, see what happens.
Yeah.
One of these days,
That's so
I'm
cool.
probably going to have to pay way too much money to get it back, but I'm going to try to get it back.
Yeah. No
But at the
kidding.
same time, I can't think of a better person for it to go to because Boots is kind of a dinosaur, you know?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, you know, like I was watching ESPN today, and
Boots is on
Michael
ESPN.
Jordan.
Boots on there.
Well, Michael
You wasn't there.
North Carolina jersey sold
Since you was.
for $1.38 million.
No shit.
Who said since
They
you?
said first.
And
Sure.
I'd like for stuff like people like Boots to go like that. You know,
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
So,
I think it's worth being recognized over, you know.
well,
You do something like this your whole life. Like Bob. Mm-hmm. Bob's been a cowboy and nothing else his whole life.
well, he was a butcher for a few years, but yeah. But
Well, you know, but you cowboy and you got to do some small jobs here and
that's
there.
exactly.
Oh, he knows a cow inside and out.
But yeah, you're right. You're right. I agree.
I got a
good
shitload of
Cowboys
respect.
left and came back to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They like every single one of them.
No, I'm not. Yeah.
Like Dane went to the oil field and he came back and he's still shit cowboy.
Should say no field.
Just say the goddamn oil field. Just teasing.
No,
Oh, he kept getting fired and he was making about as much money as cowboy.
It was about the same story. He kept getting fired from the oil field and he kept getting fired from cowboy.
You know, for the last 2 weeks, you'll get a paycheck.
That's right.
Who the fuck gets paid every 2 weeks?
Yeah, what?
I know you don't. I know.
No, you and me don't.
The oil wants to
Get paid by chance.
By chance.
No, I think this is the best setting for the working cowboy. It's just a couple guys, like you guys all know each other. You don't know me, or Chauncey kind of knows me a little bit. But like you just meet a couple guys at the bar. Say you're going to Denver to the stock show.
Yeah.
You find the hats. And you strike up a conversation, and
you have to find the right hats.
yeah, well, exactly.
Well,
like you find, like I said, you look for the hats, and you look for the ones that are not gunsels.
Right.
You can spot a gunsel from them.
Yeah, they.
Oh yeah.
It's funny to you can look. You go out somewhere and you can spot them,
Yeah.
but they couldn't tell you any different.
No, and then they might have like the perfect hat, but you can just when they walk up, you're just like,
Just talk to them.
You look at the heels,
Or
it's
maybe-
damn big.
Yeah.
They're team
Or maybe they
members.
sit next to you.
Or you see somebody like Carson.
No shit. No shit. They sit right next to me.
Somebody's got Carson Hickey hat. You're like, God dang it.
Well, skirt, goddamn it.
They'll tuck their jeans, but they're like
I love my skinny
riding
jeans.
up over the top of their jeans.
Oh, yeah.
And their cuffs are like just roll them down. I love
Who you
cuff-
trying to impress?
I love cuff jeans, but if they're not long enough, they're not long enough. You know.
God, I'm like, who the hell would do that?
I was thinking of the Jacob story.
Oh, God damn. Oh,
Tell that story. That's too good.
how many calves did we tie
Okay,
down that
so-
day?
I tied down.
Wait,
That sounds like
That come
13.
out. Were you there?
13
No,
or 15?
Okay, so
I tied down 13 head of calves
Personally.
that day.
okay, yeah.
Bane
We had, I had
himself.
a big Brandon on my place, and we had a shit show of a day. We gathered 2 pastures and tied down 14 or 15 calves that morning. Just getting them gathered and going to the Brandon
They
thing.
squirting out of them pens like, God dang. Well,
One of them first
like they were squirting
calves,
out of
Be
them
after
pens.
a night out of Keystone Light.
I had a buddy that I'd gone to college or gone to trade school with. And
He was going to say Call of Duty.
it was the Call of Duty.
he was my internet amigo.
We're BFFs.
Yeah.
He wants
Hey,
to drag one of them
shit's
first calves in. Yeah, I want to drag one of them first calves in.
The calf is tied down. All he had to do is put a loop on it and drag the trailer.
He
And it was
throws
like
his,
a
he throws his
50
line
pound.
over the end of that hook in that trailer, and Dane asks him, "Are you ready?" Or whoever.
Oh no! It was
Was you
no,
tying that
no,
calf?
it wasn't because
It's-
me and Dane was riding up there and we saw
Yeah.
Jakey was about to drag
That's
that
right.
calf in,
Yeah.
and Dane said he kept on riding. I just stopped. He said, "Well, he's stopping." I said, "Just watch,
Yeah.
just watch."
Let's watch the rodeo.
Well, you went to building you a loop, didn't you?
Well, I knew what was fixing to happen.
Okay, so he throws his rope over that hook, doesn't dally off. And whoever was down there,
He dallied. He got
There
he
was-
down.
That was,
he did not dally.
that
He
was-
had his line straight up in the air. He's holding on to it.
It was Cody,
Oh yeah.
Cody
Cody Walker.
Walker.
Yeah, he
That
untied
fuckface.
this calf.
No last name, Murder Daylight.
He's a piece of shit.
I know you hate him, Dane.
I did.
Continue.
He unties this calf. That calf gets up, and instead of going to his horn and dallying off and taking off with that calf, he just watches as that rope pops off the hook, and that calf runs a circle all the way around his horse. And
Yanks
it
him,
corkscrewed him straight into the ground.
just yanked him off hard.
You'd think once he left the trailer, he'd let go.
You would think he never got to the trailer. That calf got around him and he just yanked him off his horse. And me and Dave was.
He wasn't 100 pounds.
It'll come undone.
It's a baby calf.
It's
It was
100
Well, it
pounds.
wasn't even
100
a
odd pounds.
Great big calf. It's just a baby
Yeah,
calf.
like 100
But he
pounds.
did
Yeah.
get chili walked on the ground. And
I love a good story that way, but
I sit there with Dane. I said, I told you that was gonna. So I knew that was gonna
He
happen.
watched it
And we
run all
both.
the way around his horse.
and Pete is worried about hurting these calves' feelings.
Me and Dane was sitting there about.
That calf don't give a fuck about
No,
your feelings.
fuck your
as he
feelings.
ties you up and
We're leaving.
dances on your face, right?
Me and Dane sitting there watching. I said, I knew that was gonna happen. Let's go get him.
We did. We got him.
I kind of enjoy them.
Yeah,
them
he was
younger,
tired.
them younger guys just
Oh,
watching
yeah.
them.
Well, because you know they're gonna bounce back up.
Oh yeah, and it's gonna be fun. No
yeah, I
matter
mean,
what.
like,
But we did rail his ass for the next 3 days over that day. Because that was like the first day that we had.
Yeah.
It was the first day, and we railed his ass
Yeah.
about that for 3 days solid. I was like,
well, I have noticed though, like anybody that's been around the game a little bit, like if something's about to get real Western, like they'll just jump in and cut a rope. Like they're not, they'll give you shit about it, but like there's no waiting to watch it. Like you know when shit's bad, and you just jump in. But, yeah. But there's times where it's like, we'll let them get drugged around.
Well, and that's exactly how this deal was. They didn't even ride up to us. They just kind of built them a loop and sat out there in the lights.
And you're just like, all right, well, let's see how that works.
And it pretty well went down that way. I mean, that rope just popped off of that hook by coincidence. That calf run all the way around him. And he just turned around, did a little 180 in the saddle, hold on the rope. Watched him and just jerked him right off.
Go, all right, well, that's one way to do it, huh?
Yeah, me and Chauncey, we caught it and tied it down and drove in the trailer. He's a guts of shit.
Oh,
Just like
he means well.
he means well, but it's no worse than fucking Cody. That some bitch is not worth two shits.
So we was it was the same day another fella was helping there, and he'd been talking about how much money he paid for this horse. He said, I reckon by the time
put that much money into him.
he said it was like a car, like he restored a fucking car or something. He was like, he said, I reckon by the time I figured how much money I got in this horse, he said I got about $6,000 in this mare, and I was like, well, how you figure you got that much?
Yeah.
Well, training fees and how much paid for the horse. I got about $6,000 in this sumbitch, and he's bad as bone. It wasn't a mare, it was a gelding. And
Well, that's before horse prices went skyrocket.
well, it was that.
Well, still,
Yeah.
that some bitch ain't worth fucking. I got a horse right there at the house that's worth more than that.
$35,000.
Oh, wrong.
Hey,
No, I'm talking about fucking.
lucky is as lucky does.
That was a good video, by the way.
Fucking is worth more than that fucking horse was.
That old bitch took her head and went with it. Well, fuck it.
No, Ronnie ain't
Trying to
gonna
get
do
her pulled around and still video it at the same time.
it. Kinda. He ain't worth a shit.
I've never been good at marketing horses, and I had a paint horse
Yeah.
for sale
I
for a
saw
while.
him the other day.
He was all right, he could be a little bit lighthearted, but he's all right.
He blew up.
We wasn't bad.
I just went back to the old bull rider deal and just.
And he said, I want a video of
out.
lope circles.
Just turn my toes out, 'cause he
I do that.
blew-
So I just
Got
I
on.
prop my
And he
phone
blew-
up on a windmill tire.
Yeah.
Because I was by myself.
One star,
all
so I
I
just turned my
usually
heels
was.
in, just
And
fucking got a hold
I
of
went out
him.
there and loped some circles.
And I rode him.
He wouldn't collect up.
He's-
He didn't lope pretty
he's a
circles.
yeah,
He just
I'm about to
chopping
have
through
my
circles and
losses
stuff.
and just get
I said it to him. I never did
Yeah.
the damn thing back. And nowadays looking back on it, no fucking wonder.
But
Yeah.
We got enough time on him to make him a
Yeah, I made a couple
$6,500 horse
of
now.
like I
I had enough time in him, but he's not that. I got enough time to where he should be.
You could have tried to make it collect a little bit.
Yeah, no
He's
shit.
got a
I do too.
50
Like
days.
Yeah.
I'm not the world's greatest horseman. I'm not.
No,
I'm
but you
not.
also know a little bit, and you're like,
And his full brother
that was bad.
is in the.
I ain't no Ray
for
Hunt,
church.
but
That
you know,
would figure.
I know
Yeah,
what they
his
should
brother,
look
full
like.
brother.
yeah, and then
Randy
man,
Keller.
Yeah. Like, listen, dude.
His full
You're-
brother's a.
I'm pricing you a horse for
right now.
$4,000.
And winning
That's
money.
a ranch horse.
yeah.
You can go
That
do
Fuzzy's
shit. You can do
horse?
whatever you want to do.
His
but
full
it
brother
might not
is
be beautiful.
Making
but
money in the
it's
fraternity
gonna
right
get
now.
done.
It's
Yeah.
Rank horse.
Well, and that's the thing. Is like,
brother.
you gotta get one of those GoPros and just.
He is.
Because the cool thing about those is just like GoPro turn on, and you just go.
But he's
close
been
to it.
moving.
That's fucking cool.
Yeah.
It's cool to watch.
It's all voice activated, and I like the chest harness personally because it shows you swinging. So like you know when you throw a bad
Oh,
move.
gosh,
I throw a lot of bad moves.
Yeah.
So
He won't.
I was teaching myself.
especially the backhand ones, like I get like my
We call
shoulder's
your
not
horse
very good.
Mutt Flood.
So I didn't
Rick's
realize
better than he
that
does right now.
Doing
He's
this
a
a lot.
fucking three.
Right.
Little league deal.
He looks.
I had to
Flood
pitch
looks 10 times.
What
better
about
than
that?
horse looks.
Finish this story and then tell me about your feud with the Little League coach.
Oh, okay. So, well, anyway, my shoulder clicks, and it shouldn't click, but I didn't realize that until I started pitching for Little League. Jerry Bryant, by the way, he's the city councilman for Yerington, Nevada. That's right, Yerington, Nevada.
City councilman.
Call him out.
And he's a motherfucker.
Elected official.
Elected by whom? Not Matt.
Not me.
Yeah.
And if I lived in that same town, I would run against him just out of spite. But since I don't,
On the record.
I'm gonna run an attack ad against him just out of spite because this guy's a cocksucker.
Hear that?
We fucking hate you, guy.
I don't know you, but I hate you.
So what?
Jerry, I think.
I don't know why you got bad man's cocksuckers, you know. My wife's a good
What do you got
lady.
against
She's fine, but she's not a
Matt, hey, Matt, what do you got against cocksuckers?
nothing.
The joke has been told, Dave.
Oh, damn it.
I got things against.
Tell him how you feel. Look into the camera.
Well, I'm trying to think of the best word for it. But,
You're a fucking bitch.
How you feel?
No good sons of bitches.
No, see, so we're gonna go serious here. I'm gonna think low intelligence, self-important, self-righteous, fascistic, authoritarian wannabe.
Damn, that's a lot of insults in one sentence.
I know.
Sounds
And
like
I
most of the
respect the
ladies
hell out of that.
I've been thinking about this one for a while, but all right. So I signed my little girl up for T-ball, as you do, and they had plenty of coaches, so no big deal. My niece signed up for the next level up, which is they call it farm team, but coach pitch.
Right.
And my brother-in-law, her dad is a giant piece of shit. He used to be a good friend of mine. I'm not afraid to say Blaine Sexton is a giant piece of shit.
On camera.
Yeah, I'll say that out
You're a cunt.
in the entire world because he left his daughter. And now I have to coach their team because the only people that stepped up to coach that team for his daughter, not mine, his daughter, were a couple of women who hadn't played softball since high school, and so they don't know what they're doing. And not that they're incompetent or anything; they just don't know what they're getting into.
Right.
So
They're women.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Small brains.
well, we're playing by baseball rules too. So
Yeah.
so anyway, I said, well, all right, I'll step in and coach. And we got this group text from everybody that was in our league about how there's the mask policy, blah, blah, blah. And we're in Nevada, so it's basically everything California does, Nevada does.
Yeah.
And the only people that pay attention are Reno and Vegas. The rest of Nevada, all 15 other counties out of 17, disregard all that. So they said, you have to wear masks in the dugout. You don't have to wear masks on the field. And no sunflower seeds at all because that contributes to spitting. And I never even thought about the sunflower seeds until they mentioned that. And I was like, you're going to go that far into our personal lives?
You're gonna get COVID from second.
This is what blows my mind. They've had basketball all season,
Yeah.
and then some bitches like this guarding each other's, and there's no word.
But I gotta
No,
guard the shit.
Alright, so
So that's what I'm saying.
It goes a little bit from here because
So why the fuck are they playing all the time and they're this far apart? Oh, COVID, it's not part of the basketball
and
deal.
as my wife says, you just ask for forgiveness later, but I can't just not say something. Like, I never even thought about the sunflower seeds thing at all until you told me I couldn't do it. And I have a big problem when you tell me I can't do something, especially when it makes no sense at all.
Yeah.
So I made a smart-ass comment in this group text, and they're like, well, if we don't abide by these rules, we're going to get shut down by the state, and if you're not going to abide, we're going to take it to a higher level. And I said, well, I'll just take it to the president. So I sent a screenshot to the president, whose name is Jerry Bryant.
Jerry Bryant. You motherfucker.
Jerry Bryant.
Yeah.
Say it again for the people in the back.
So I told this guy, or I sent him a screenshot, and I said, what's your move? I was like, are you going to enforce this or not? And he said, well, we have to abide by these rules, blah, blah, blah. And I said, and he's like, and we need all of our coaches to abide by that. So that's fine. I'll step down. I don't need to be a coach, whatever. And he said, okay, great deal. since you're no longer affiliated with the league, I'm going to have to formally ask you to no longer attend practices or games. And I was like, well, listen up here,
You shitting me?
fucker. I've got a little girl who's playing t-ball, and I'm not her coach because they had enough coaches. I'm going to be at her games, and I'm probably going to have sunflower seeds with me. And
Outlaw shit, you know.
well, and so then he and I was like, well, I thought that'd be the end of it. And he's like, all right, you know, don't be a douchebag or whatever, you know. And I would expect that, but no, he said, no, you won't. And I said, try me, fucking try me. And he said, I'll have you arrested for trespassing. I said, well, I'd like to see you try because you're gonna need a warrant for that, and I hope you have it.
Yeah.
I hope you have it, because if you don't, I'm gonna beat the fuck out of you.
You're gonna fucking need it.
I didn't say it in those words, but I said I will be at my daughter's game, and not only at her game, I'll be at opening ceremonies where we have all the teams around, and we trot them out on the field. It's a stupid ceremony. I hate it, but they trot every kid in Little League out on the field. It's a waste of time, but guess what? I'll be there, and I'll have sunflower seeds. And if you want to arrest me, you better have a fucking warrant. And if you have a warrant, I'll go peacefully. But if you don't, and you try to arrest me without a warrant, I will make a public spectacle out of this, and I guarantee you that. What this motherfucker do? He called an emergency board meeting.
Oh, shit.
He tried to have me voted out of the league, and not only that, he tried to have my daughter, my 6-year-old daughter, voted out of the league because I had a beef with him. And he brought it up. Like, well, he also, like, we were supposed to do it over Zoom, you know, because COVID.
Yeah.
And
you're raising your
and he
daughter
said,
up for a life of crime.
well, and he said, are you ready for, or he said, are you available at Wednesday, 7 o'clock? I said, no, I'm not. I got to unload cattle. And he said, oh, good. We're having that meeting. We're having a meeting then. I was like, you motherfucker. I told you, and he didn't respond until I said, no, I got to unload cattle. And then like 3 hours later, he said, this is when the meeting is. Well, fuck you. I happen to have a pretty good boss, and I told him about it, so he's like, yeah, I'll unload cattle. Go to that meeting. And yeah, he was like, we're gonna call this meeting to order because we're gonna vote on Matt McKinley and his daughter Sophia. And I said, hold on, you mentioned my daughter's name one more time, I will file a restraining order against you for harassment because she is 6 years old and has done nothing wrong. Try me. And then, you know what? He didn't say my daughter's name one more fucking time. Mm-hmm. And I had, well, and at this point I had my wife on my side, and she's very good legally. And I had another mom from the team that was there, and she was like looking through Little League bylaws and telling them how they were fucked up. So I didn't even have to make a good point. I got to be belligerent, and it was awesome.
That's the best part.
Belligerent
and correct.
I laid down copies of my formal complaint, and I was like, I'd like to file a formal complaint against Jerry Bryant.
Jerry Bryant.
You motherfucker! Say it into the microphone.
I said
Jerry Bryant.
Jerry
with a J. Probably sucks dick for money.
But best part is that,
or for free.
Yeah. Just ask. He'll probably do it. Don't worry.
If you're going for free, then see you invited 2 days.
I don't know what you got going.
I said,
you have an OnlyFans?
I'm going to file a formal complaint against the president of the board here for intimidation, bullying, and overall douchebaggery.
That's a technical term.
Douchebaggery. My wife slapped me for that one, but I still said it on record.
You said that on record?
Mm-hmm. Fuck yeah, I did.
Douchebaggery.
Fuck yeah, I did. because he's a douchebag.
That's
And
hilarious.
I want the whole world to know it.
That becomes a chargeable offense now.
It should be. You know, honestly, like.
I was arrested for douchebaggery. That sounds like something would happen in the
Get out of
1800s.
here. Are you a douchebag?
Douchebaggery.
It's like, are you a douchebag? And then they'll say, I don't think so. And then, prove it.
Prove I'm not.
And if you're a douchebag, all right, well, you go to jail. If not, you don't.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Well, they should have like a multiple choice questionnaire as soon as you get to the
I think so.
jailhouse.
There should be
I agree.
stipulations. And common sense stuff like, do you hate people?
Yes.
If you select yes, you're probably not going to jail. Do you hit people when you hate them? Man, that's it. That's it.
Is there a sometimes section?
Yeah, where is the reason for hitting that?
Yeah, exactly. That's where it all comes down to. Like, did you hit him just because you saw him? All right, you'd probably go to jail for that.
Right.
But if they were a douchebag, if they distributed overall douchebaggery,
Yes.
yeah, you hit him. No questions asked.
Why did you hit them? Because they were a distributor of douchebaggery.
Yeah.
Thus saith the
Yes.
Church of Burning
Dead.
Daylight.
The Church of Burning Daylight of the Yesterday Saints.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Sunday Saints. Yeah, I think that's how it should be. But I don't know. Long story short, though, if you hold your ground, a lot of times those people are cowards and they'll run off.
That's
Jerry-
most people in general.
Jerry,
Is a coward.
you didn't stand your ground very well.
Jerry, you're a big fat pussy, and I wouldn't even eat you.
Yeah.
But I mean,
You eat everything.
I'd fuck it though.
I even put it on Instagram, #fuck Jerry.
I was wondering what that was about. Speaking of fuck Jerry, Eric, you got one of them cigarettes. It's about time for a cigarette break. Good night.
Alright, sounds good.
You got an ashtray hanging around here? I
ain't
got
gonna-
one for you,
I ain't gonna smoke in the house
and I got one for me.
because I don't live alone anymore. So
We should smoke one in the house anyway.
no,
Well,
we're gonna go.
we're at an hour and a half. We'll call that good for the regular.
I don't know if we got anything done.
I don't care either, but for the free feed, that's what we're gonna do. And after this, it'll be Patreon, paid subscribers.
Oh yeah,
So, Chauncey,
yes sir.
get your boys and sign us off.
This is Chauncey Western, not Matt McKinley.
That's Dane Banta.
That's Dane Banna in the empty chair. He died.
Yeah,
He died 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, he threw up. Until he
And
died.
this is Carson and Eric, and they are my best good friends.
Sawyer Johnson.
Sawyer
or
Johnson.
Tato.
Yeah, Sawyer Johnson,
Wallace fucking
Wallace Kirk. And we're going to sign off nowadays. But they're the best goddamn cowhands in western Oklahoma and Panhandle of Texas, and anybody that don't believe it, they can fight me over it. Goodbye.
And move your ass.
Move your
Move your ass.
Burn
Burn
the daylight.
daylight.
Fucking it.
Yeah, come
Be
get
a
it.
fucking bitch. Let's party. That's scared of him.
Come get it. Taste.
Taste.
Well, there you have it, folks. Hell of a good time. And we kept going. Everybody had to take a communal piss break, and then we came back to continue with the awesomeness. Boy, I sure appreciate Chauncey. Yeah, appreciate it, man. And Dane and Carson and Eric, I appreciate y'all. Anybody who would like to continue listening to this, just head over to patreon.com/burning daylight. You can subscribe there. I think you have to be, it's at the $5 level or higher. You can get the full unedited content. And it was a fun conversation. It's pretty cool getting to meet people that listen to you on a daily basis. So thanks, fellas. Thanks for showing me a good time. And move your ass. We're burning daylight.
some Oklahoma rule that John's all wrong. They're too damn skinny, way too long. Well, I ain't no holy roller, so I just use a bone. Them boys some Oklahoma rule that John's all wrong. Texas, they got some damn fine weed. They smoked across the Rio, they use that Mexican breed. Oh, that's exploiting cheap labor, but hell, that's a Texacon's creed. Them boys are down in Texas, got some damn fine weed. Oh, them boys in Colorado, they just as soon pan for gold. The nights are too long, the growing season's too cold. They just as soon smoke a joint that Jason bowling and roll. At least that's what I've been told. Yeah, them boys from Oklahoma rule that John's all wrong. They're too damn skinny, way too long. Well, I ain't no holy roller, so I just use a bone. Them boys from Oklahoma rule that John's all wrong. Faggots down in Norman, they got a kinky streak. They like to roll their own, or soon a wrist or too weak. They just as soon. I'm sorry about that. I just got to thinking, we're gonna have to do this song over again because we might want to sell a CD in Norman, you know. But we'll go ahead and do it for now, okay? Well, them faggots down there in Norman, they got a kinky streak. Well, they like to roll their own, their center wrists are too weak. They'll sure start to puffin' if you stick one in their beak. Them faggots down in Norman got a kinky streak. Trimble growing their weed. The alligators is mean, they eat up all the seeds. But on a bayou tonight, by the light of the full moon, you can walk out and pick you a sack full of shrooms. Hear them boys from Oklahoma rule that John's all wrong. They're too damn skinny, way too long. Well, I ain't no holy ruler, so I just see the bone. Them boys from Oklahoma rule that John's all wrong. How's Stillwater? You guys all right tonight? I want you to show our good friend Gene Collier that you know every word of the song. Well, them boys. They keep on rolling them all night long. Mine looks like a pregnant dolphin. I just as soon use a ball. Well, them boys from Oklahoma roll that John's all wrong.